Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we are going to be talking about XDC Network, aka XDC. So, with that being said, I hope that you are all having a beautiful day or a beautiful night, wherever you guys are out there in the world. So, institutions are all on board of the RWA train, and real world assets have essentially opened a massive door of an opportunity, not only for retail, but also even institutions, especially for the services that they have to offer, the amount of money that they stand to make, and also the amount of money that they stand to ultimately bring into this space. Back in December, there was actually a post by Coindesk, and it said the year of institutional investment in RWAs or real world assets. And we have the rise of secure regulated tech will bring a wealth of financial institutions into blockchain in the coming years. And, as we really look at the future ahead, we already have a massive player on board, which is, of course, BlackRock. And there was actually an article written about this just recently, March 21st, BlackRock's $10 trillion tokenization vision, the future of real world assets, where they really kind of just talked about the ETFs. They talked about tokenization of specific things, even, really with the securitized investment as well. There's a lot of stuff going on where, people are looking at it and they're just saying, like, wow, this is a big deal. But I think that they're not understanding just how big of a deal it really is. I mean, when you have asset management companies that have $10 trillion in, assets under management, and they're really kind of talking heavily about tokenization, and they're even addressing how big it's going to be and how it's going to dwarf pretty much every single asset class out there. It really just shows you how big this space is also going to grow over the course of the next couple of years. For an example, right, the value of tokenized assets at the time that this article got published, it was already at about roughly $119 billion. And they're saying that it could reach 10 trillion by 2030. Now, I would argue that we are going to reach those figures pretty quick. I mean, think about how fast this space has been growing already, and think about all of the players on board. Now, with all of this in mind, right, the sector on CoinMarketCap, RWAs, this has been blowing up. If you look at the 30-day or even the 1 year gains on some of these projects, it is insane. It's insane. And, XDC is on this list. But what I find crazy about this is one, XDC is basically that starting point yet again from back in 2023. So we got a price reset on XDC where now we have an opportunity to buy XDC at very significant lows. But also, it's the fact that XDC has a market cap of roughly $500 million. Guys, this thing could easily 10 to 20x. I would not be surprised at that at all. But think more long term, right? One of the most significant use cases that I see for XDC, and it does alert to the idea of tokenization, it's trade finance. There's a post recently that came up on my timeline from XDC Pools, and it says XDC Trade Investment Forum 2024 discussion about the feasibility of tokenization for liquidity and investor markets at the ITFA Worldwide Conference in London. Look at the parties: Trade Phoenix, Trade Tech, and HSBC. Now, the image in the background, you actually open this up real quick and zoom in, we can see, is tokenization a real option for providing liquidity and a realistic opportunity for investor markets? The moderator was Andre Casterman, and then you also add Trade Tech, Trade Phoenix, and then also HSBC, Global Bank, and also Markets, I believe. But regardless, these are significant players here. Two of them are using XDC already. Is HSBC. Well, HSBC is tapped in with the ITFA. The ITFA tapped in with XDC and Trade Phoenix and Trade Tech. Do the math. But what I find very interesting about this is Trade Phoenix, right? Because we're talking about liquidity here. We're also talking about tokenization for liquidity. Go to TradeFinix's website. Go to XDC Liquidity on their website. Explore XDC as a protocol for instant global settlement and counterparty risk mitigation for trade finance. Now, if we scroll down, we have the features here. All right. Prevent fraud through transparency, immediate counterparty risk mitigation. You can see how this is done as well. But do you see the third bullet point there? XDC protocol allows you to hold securitized trade finance assets or negotiable instruments in a fully tokenized digital form in your custody. They can then be transferred between financial institutions on a peer-to-peer network without any risk of a centralized failure. The tokenized assets can be settled with digital fiat cash of choice, issued on XinFin network or digital asset of the XinFin network XDC nodes, on cloud, or even a personal or company computer. Guys, this is tokenization that is going to provide liquidity for trade finance, which is a very, very illiquid asset class or market, if you will. It's an industry that is ripe for disruption as well. This is a big game changer. And in fact, we have XDC liquidity for trade finance. Background: Ripple has successfully showcased the use case of digital assets on its decentralized network XRP. Remittance companies can use the liquidity of XRP across corridors to process faster payments in terms of retail payments. XRP built its liquidity from $250,000 per day to approximately $2 billion per day. Now we have XDC. Digital asset on XinFin network stands for XinFin Digital Contract. Currently traded across 18 global markets, XDC has demonstrated the ability to be a liquid asset against multiple fiat currencies across different jurisdictions. Liquidity against fiat currencies enables instant settlement and mitigates counterparty risk. XDC was the second most liquid digital asset against Indonesian FX markets for IDR. XDC was the most liquid asset on IDEX. This is a decentralized exchange connected to Coinbase. XDC is building its liquidity against, and we have the 4 major fiat currencies here as well. Again, how is this going to impact trade finance? Well, this will enable buyers, suppliers, and financiers in instant mitigation of counterparty risk by settling directly in XDC or any fiat currency through XDC. Imagine how big this will be if the entire trade finance sector is fully disrupted and streamlined in a very efficient way through TradeFinix, TradeTech, utilizing XDC. That's why this is such a big deal to me, because real world asset tokenization so far has really not, it really hasn't been a big deal, right? Most of what we are seeing from the tokenization space is like, it's like securities in terms of US treasuries, or, we're just starting to see stable coins. I mean, outside of that, like, there's not a massive use case for tokenization just yet. I mean, real estate has been starting to be tokenized slightly, but this is a use case that I'm very interested about, because this is tokenization that is going to impact liquidity specifically and ultimately lead to trade finance really kind of being disrupted and revolutionized. Outside of this, though, there has been a lot of great initiatives around XDC as well. So let's talk about it. 1, just recently, Foundership HQ teamed up with XDC Network to launch XDC 0x Camp. This is a token launch program. This program helps early stage Web3 startups with resources, mentorship, investment opportunities, and $100,000 in funding. This starts on June 3rd of this year. I'm actually very excited about this. Why, right? Well, first off, this is accelerating top Web3 global startups, and they already had $200 million in total value of 25% of their startups. 650 plus global startups applied, 70 plus global coaches, part of Coach DAO, and 50 plus capital partners across the world. We can see the background behind this company as well. Here are their top startups as well. Some very large players on here. And I'm actually very excited about this with XDC because guess what this is going to provide? Well, it's going to provide a lot more use cases, possibly even developers on the network. And even over here, we actually have the full announcement of it as well. So we have Foundership Global Accelerator partners with XinFin Official to boost Web3 startup innovation. The XDC 0x Camp token launch program will speed up early stage projects with up to $100,000 investments. And we have a 3-month world class cohort program where top startups from around the globe join to get token launch ready and get up to $100,000 investments from the XDC network. Building any of these themes, you are most welcome to apply. RWA and TradeFi, DPIN, gaming, staking, AI plus crypto. So this is actually going to be very exciting. And I do think that the use case that could very well come from this could also be very impactful for the entire network. Again, that first one is the big focus for me in terms of RWA and tokenization. But outside of this, we also have XDC Network continues to evolve and attract more real world asset tokenization projects. XinFin officials' commitment to innovation, scalability, and interoperability enhances the appeal to businesses and investors, driving adoption, making XDC a leading RWA network. And yes, this is through a lot of their partnerships and even the ecosystem projects like TradeFinix, for an example, that is built out on the XDC network. Outside of this, though, we also have a big announcement of Zoth.io. And we talked about this slightly, right? We are thrilled to announce our strategic partnership with the Zoth.io platform, which marks a significant milestone in our mission to harness the power of blockchain technology for the real world asset space. XDC Network is committed to providing cutting edge technology and comprehensive ecosystem support to fuel Zoth's growth and innovation. Together, we aim to revolutionize the way RWAs are managed, traded, and financed, unlocking unprecedented opportunities for efficiency, transparency, and accessibility. This collaboration is a testament to our shared vision of leveraging blockchain's transformative potential to empower businesses and individuals alike. And we also have over here that they raised 2.5 million in funding, led by Blockchain FF. Now, with this, the funds are going to go towards building a multi-chain stablecoin powered RWA ecosystem in preparation for Zoth's upcoming public offering. Zoth is your portal to on-chain RWAs. And if we actually look down here, we could see some of the other investors and advisors behind this as well. Some very large names. Very excited about this. We also have this investment fuels our journey to build solutions to bridge the gap between TradFi and on-chain Fi. Our goal, accelerate the flow of trillions into sustainable RWAs, making finance fairer and more accessible globally. In less than a year since inception, we have deployed $6.5 million in private credit, originating $50 million, and with a total of $140 million in the pipeline. We are already live on the mainnets of multiple networks, including, of course, XinFin. Additionally, we're gearing up to bring more regulated fixed income products like money market funds backed by secure assets such as T-bills, sovereign bonds, green finance, commercial papers, and many more. The $2.5 million fundraise strategically lays the foundation for the upcoming Zoth token launch. This showcases our commitment to global collaboration and innovation in RWA tokenization. And I think that this is going to be great, and I think that this is also going to be great for the XinFin ecosystem as well. Definitely pay attention to some of these players that are backed by XDC and are really kind of being helped with XDC as well. Very excited about this. And last but not least, right, XDC, although it has been kind of overlooked in terms of RWAs, it really hasn't had a massive spike up like majority of these projects on the list. More and more people are now starting to find out about XDC and mentioning it. In fact, 2 posts where they were talking about RWA projects and gems and really kind of addressing this, well, XDC got mentioned on this list. We could see the background behind this, and then also this list as well. Again, a lot more people are now finding out about XDC. They're doing their research on XDC and they see how big it could very well be in terms of this next major wave up to the upside within the tokenization space, but also even in terms of the altcoin market. Alt season is nearing, and I do think that XDC is going to wake up in a very large way. And I do think that as we start to see tokenization really kind of heating up alongside alt season, it's only going to be a recipe for incredible growth for a lot of these projects like XDC. But even long term, guys, the long term path ahead is very, very clear for XDC to become a big, big player. So focus on how big of a gem and a giant XDC really is. Like I said, I do think that right now, currently speaking, XDC is basically reset in terms of its overall price. The overall market will give you opportunities to get in on the low yet again. And this is definitely one of those opportunities because we are now back to the base point before the big spike back in the summer of 2023. And I'm very excited to see the next big move on this chart because if we are going to lead into alt season, if we are going to see some very large moves being made around this space in terms of altcoins, I do think that XDC is going to be one of those big movers as well. And we could very well see this thing hitting a new all-time high very, very soon this year, which I'm very excited about. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on, I've got some more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.